Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grunt boys, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast. That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated sitcom The Simpsons from seasons 11 and beyond, and the newest when they're available. And this summer, we're talking about the love life of one Bart Simpson. Why are we doing it this way? Well, there's plenty of other podcasts out there that have discussed the golden age, that being seasons 1 through 10. So we won't be talking about those episodes where Bart has a girlfriend. So we're here to see if any of the newer episodes can tackle Bart's love the way we want it tackled. I don't do this alone. I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me on the other end of this discussion is...
Annoyed grunt boy, Steve. Hello, Craig.
Hey, Steve. You know, we always talk about not being timely or relevant for the intro because we want people to listen to this whenever, so it doesn't feel like it's dated. But there's just so much going on in the news, so I think we should just talk about whatever's on our mind, just for this intro.
Of course, we're not a political podcast, but I think we can allow it this time.
Right. So controversial, but I don't think it's that controversial. As a Seattle Mariners fan, Cal Raleigh winning the home run derby last week during the All-Star game.
Of course.
Great job, Cal. That's what we want to talk about.
I think so. I mean, I think we are slowly pivoting to a sports podcast, so.
Steve, about a couple years ago, you went to New York and you went to see a taping of Stephen Colbert Late Night. And because of you, you cursed it and they canceled Late Night. Let me check my notes. Number one late night talk show was canceled.
A few years before that, I went to LA and I saw a taping of At Midnight, and that was also canceled, so.
And I saw a taping of the new Night Court a couple years ago, and that's been canceled too.
Wow, I think that we're cursing a show. Hopefully we never go to a live taping of The Simpsons.
No, I just got tickets for us for the season premiere of the live taping.
Bad enough it's to be hell in the animator's arms.
Well, it's all AI now. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a weird move. As someone who subscribes to a Paramount Plus, I'm conflicted. Do I throw my arms up and say, fuck you, and cancel my Paramount Plus?
It's a little weird because if you watched Nathan Fielder's The Rehearsal, the season 2, he had some stuff to talk about Paramount Plus as well, them kind of removing certain episodes because of the content in it, and so it made Paramount Plus not look so good. And then after this, the whole Stephen Colbert thing, yeah, I don't know. It's tough because they do provide like a lot of great content, because I know that you as a Trekkie, you know, that's where you get all your Star Trek stuff, and you know, I like Comedy Central or what's left of it, and that is also on there. But yeah, it's just a bad time to be in media right now.
Yeah, it's weird that Paramount, and with Star Trek is like, you know, the most liberal, one of the most liberal shows, and that Paramount that owns it, like, just bowing down towards, like, do we want state government run television? If it starts with CBS, then it'll go to Fox, and then all of a sudden we won't have Simpsons, because the Simpsons are also outspoken.
Right.
They're a very liberal show. It's going to be Greg Gutfeld all over your screens.
Oh my God. But you make a good point, because like it's bad enough that media is becoming like a commodity. Like if you look at shows like, or channels like HBO Max Go, when there's so many things that are produced that are never shown just because of the bottom line. And so the industry is already in a bad place, but to have politicians step into it as well, it's just really gross.
It's really scary to be like trying to produce content, through like the major avenues, like you said, with like HBO and these big like studios.
Mm-hmm.
And when there's so many people losing their jobs, like the people that all work on the late night, all just lost a job. And it's not just Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert, I think, will do fine. There'll be another avenue, and hopefully he takes his entire staff with him, so those people aren't out of jobs. It just sickens me that, again, not a political podcast, that the president of the United States roots against like 73% of this country.
Yeah, it's so maddening and sickening, and I know that like you all know it, and like it's been talked to death, but it's so sad. And what I know of like the industry, like when I went to see Stephen Colbert, it was such a well-run show. Everybody was so respected. You could tell that he had so much love for his crew, and everyone was just so happy to be there. It was so familial and so great. And to see such an empire fall like that, it's just it's alarming, and I don't know. Like, it makes me sad to be an American.
Yeah. Sorry if we're just like on our soapbox right now and we're saying things. I know our listeners are smart and they hear this shit too. They don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
And I'm probably just going to cut this all out.
Well, one thing that I am sick of is that damn Coldplay couple.
Okay, let's talk about this in the news, folks. You know, we talk about like joke jail for Simpsons, and as of this record, in fact, I think when we were recording last week's episode, I look at the news and this like CEO and CFO like were caught at a Coldplay concert, and we all know this right now, but it's only been a week, maybe less than, and fucking like everyone is doing this bit. Can we please stop this? Can we joke jail this like right now?
Yeah, it got so bad that at a local sports event, our two rival schools in Oregon, the Oregon Ducks and the Oregon Beavers, their mascots were doing that pose. And it's just like...
it's everyone.
Yeah.
Every sporting event, any event you see. I saw people doing that like at Comic-Cons and enough.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm glad we're having fun, but on this podcast, we don't like to have fun.
Exactly. We like to talk about The Simpsons.
Yes. In fact, we'd like to go back in time, specifically to the year 2010.
Whoa.
Steve, what was the world like in 2010, specifically March 21st for that weekend? What was everyone going to the Cineplex to see?
Well, Craig, it was a simpler time and maybe a more dreamy time because everyone was going to see Disney's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Now, did you ever see that movie?
I have not seen it. I didn't see it then. I don't think it appealed to me, but, maybe I'm wrong.
You know what? I never saw it too, and I remember at that time saying, I'm good, never going to have to see this. But, Steve, I think you and I need to get up from this chair, go over to our built-in theater that we have at the studio.
Of course.
And watch Disney's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland and tell everybody, no, you know what? I'm only going to tell our Patreon listeners what we thought of the movie. That's right. So check out this Friday. We'll drop our review of Disney's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, boy.
There's a little Patreon exclusive for you all. Sign up today, patreon.com/AnnoyedGruntBoys to hear that, and maybe our review of The Simpsons meeting Family Guy.
Wow, that's so exciting. I cannot wait for our fans to listen.
I just hope that if you're fans of Family Guy or Disney's Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, and you love it, it won't make you sad, it won't make you break your heart.
Yeah, that would be insane. It'd be madness. It would be ludicrous.
Steve, what was the number one hot song on the Billboard 100 for that week?
Why, that's Break Your Heart by Teo Cruz featuring Ludacris. And, how does that song make you feel? I was just going to ask.
If I was in a corporated business run by a bunch of apes... No, not apes. Who were the soldiers in Planet of the Apes? What species was that?
I do believe they were the gorillas, speaking of Tim Burton.
Oh, you're right. So I'd Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz. That was the number one hot rock alternative, Steve. When Gwen Stefani is having sex, what does she call her man's penis?
Well, probably a hillbilly boner. Or maybe just a hillbilly bone.
Steve, what was the number one hot country song?
Why, it's Hillbilly Bone by Blake Shelton and Trace Adkins, which... we talk about the country's titles and names, and it doesn't get more country than that.
Is Gwen Stefani also feeling Trace Atkins' Hillbilly Bone?
I mean, maybe. She is a good Catholic girl, so you never know. It's a polite love. I mean, I would say that it's graceful. Much like somebody who frequently makes a phone call to show their affection.
This was a tough one, Steve. What was the number one hot dance electric hot song?
It's Love Keep Callin' by Anna Grace.
All right. Steve, I think we should just get on finally with this week's episode. That's right. It's Stealing First Base, in which Principal Skinner announces that Springfield Elementary's 2 fourth grade classes will merge until the absent Miss Krabappel returns. So as a result, Bart reluctantly shares a desk with Nikki, who's Nikki, we'll find out, and develops a flirtatious rapport.
Wow.
All right, let's go ahead and take a break, watch the episode, and we'll be right back. back. Today we're talking about stealing first base. It's the 15th episode of the 21st season. It's episode 456 in the show's run. Original air date March 21st, 2010. Your nerd code is MABF07. Written by John Frink. Directed by Stephen Dean Moore. Showrunner Al Jean.
John Frink, of course, we've talked about him before. He's an American television writer and producer. He's written 39 episodes of The Simpsons, the first 9 with his writing partner, Don Payne, who is no longer with us, sadly. They also worked on such shows as Hope and Gloria, Pride and Joy, the classic Rob Schneider sitcom Men Behaving Badly, and Veronica's Closet starring the lovable Kirstie Alley. May she also rest in peace. They started writing in the year 2000, thank you, Conan. And we've reviewed, this is number 19 for us, with John Frink. The newest one that we reviewed was Cremains of the Day, season 35, episode 15. But we recently talked about an older episode, Old Yeller Belly. Well, that was fairly recent, episode 310.
Yeah, 19 of these episodes of Mr. Frink's.
Indeed.
Leonardo DiCaprio would say, that's too many.
Maybe one or two too many.
Yeah.
But yeah, Pixelated and Frayed, one of our favorite episodes. He did that one.
Absolutely.
Simprovise, the improv episode. I enjoyed that one.
How about the Bob Next Door? It was our 22nd episode. Remember that one?
Yeah, we didn't like that one so much.
I think I have flashbacks now. The Bart enemy, Sideshow Bob, moves into that brown house next door, right? That Ruth Powers used to have. And
yeah. And his face is like sewn on.
Oh, yeah, it was a gross episode.
Yeah, it was like a reverse face-off situation. Face on.
Yeah, for grossest, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget the grossest episode we've ever seen. And that would be a scorpion's tail. Throwing that reference out. We're contracted to drop a scorpion's tail. At least twice a year in our contract.
Yeah, we get 3 cents from the band The Scorpions every time we play that.
And if we don't play it, then an actual scorpion will sting us.
Not an insect, but one of the band members.
So, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Is there any of the episodes that... I probably asked this the last time we talked about him, but any episodes that we have yet to review of his?
The one that always strikes me is Bobby, It's Cold Outside. Just because every time I think it's Bobby Hill, and I don't think it actually is.
I must have asked this question last time because I remember that joke that you made. That boy is right. That's my Hey Kel.
I like it. Angry Dad the movie would be fun, because I do enjoy the Angry Dad saga. Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Maya, Mo, where Mo meets his current wife or something. I don't remember the chronology of that now.
Because we've reviewed an episode with her, but not this one.
Right. We talked about her return, but we don't know when they first met.
Steve, are we going to have to do a Hot Mo summer next year?
Maybe.
I think that's the only episode where he has a girlfriend that we'd have to review.
Yeah, because the Helen Hunt one we can't review that one, right?
Right. We'll think about that, or we'll just do a regular summer next year.
Yeah.
As long as the planet's here.
That's a big if.
All right, Steve, let's just get on with this week's episode. And we got a full credits. This, even to the point where you get to see Maggie in her driving car seat, and you get to see the plethora of the Springfieldites through it. But before we get to that, Steve, we have a title gag, and it's Radioactive Band and Fallout Boy soaring through the sky. No, Ooh. Steve, not that indie band, but the superhero that indie band got their name from.
That's right. Who I always forget is like named after the Simpsons until I think about it for a second. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. One thing's way better than the other.
Don't you get disappointed when you see a caricature of Fallout Boy on the Simpsons, but it's not actually Milhouse?
Yeah, it is. Like it's his rightful role. Him or Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Mouse?
Haha.
Fall Out Boy, I don't want to, hair shame, but for a boy, he's already got kind of like a receding hairline.
It's true. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, though.
There's everything wrong with that, Steve.
No. Bald is beautiful.
Even my pubic region?
Especially your pubic region.
Speaking of pubic regions, there's a billboard that says Dr. Nick's home of the 1 hour sex change. It's pretty good. It's pretty fast.
Quick and easy. We also have a chalkboard gag. World War II could not beat up World War I, But I want to say, wait until you see World War III, probably coming soon.
I think World War III will get its ass kicked, only because it's going to be all like a bunch of millennials trying to eat the other's ass.
That's true, and then the Gen Zs won't want to show up. Like, no cap.
The Gen Xers will just be like, yeah, you all suck. We're just going to go and listen to our cassette tapes.
Yeah, our REM and our Echo and the Bunnymen.
Yeah. I think Bart might be right because they used like mustard gases and a lot of like gases in World War I to, I don't know if irony is the right word, but Hitler was against that. On the battlefield, Steve, he was against that. The using of gases. Because he had to deal, because he was in World War I. Hitler, not a bad guy, as Greg Gutfeld would say. Using the term Nazis like using the N-word, right?
Right. People. It's fine. Take it back. What? Dumb world.
He is the funniest guy on TV, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like...
according to our president.
He's like... I think now he can, like, confirm his place as number one in late night.
He does have the highest ratings, and that's only because boomers don't know how to turn their TVs off.
Yeah, and they're asleep by 4.
Yeah. Not a political podcast. Steve, couch gag. We have one. It's a dark cloud that moves over a crop field behind the Simpsons' house, and rain begins to fall. From the ground, various pumpkins and squash emerge. The family, except Homer, land on the largest squash. Marge as a ladybug, Lisa as a bumblebee, Maggie as a fly, and Bart as a caterpillar. And Homer is a potato bug, pops out of the squash spitting seeds.
Quick and weird. I like it.
Were you upset as a kid when you heard about potato bugs and then you ate them and they just tasted like bugs?
Yeah, this doesn't taste like French fries at all. I was pissed. Not even mashed potatoes.
But when you bit in them, there was built-in ketchup. That
I know.
Taste like ketchup. Yeah.
I just had to keep on eating bugs until I found one that tasted like a potato.
Did you ever, I guess this is animal cruelty, but like roll them up and then roll them?
I'm sure as a little bastard I did, yeah.
You get tortured animals as a kid. Isn't that a sign of sociopath or psychopath?
It's not good. It's a weird, yeah, it means that kid needs help.
I don't mean like torture. Like I didn't take large animals and torture them. But like I'm admitting on the podcast, I might have as like a little kid taken salt and put it on a slug just to see what happens.
Oh, sure. Or like the magnifying glass on an ant.
I did it to my uncle.
He knows why.
I don't think I did the ant thing because I didn't have a magnifying glass because I didn't have a Sherlock Holmes fixation like you did.
Well, the game was afoot. And Watson and Moriarty and all of that.
I used to... No, this is still vicious. God. Trust me, I don't harm animals. I'm against killing of creatures unless they're ants. Again, and they're in my house. Then I'm putting that ant trap out. But those like little white moths that always fly around in the summertime?
Mm-hmm.
They were kind of always the easiest to catch. And then I would throw it into a spider's nest just to watch the spider. Is that fucked up?
Well, it depends on who you ask. Because like, if you were to ask my wife, she hates moths. They're like... She has like a genuine like fear of them. She doesn't like the way they flap their wings and the way they move.
What about butterflies?
Not a fan. No. So she would like applaud you.
Interesting. Wait. Your wife is not a fan of butterflies, yet they are nature's fan.
Ooh, that's profound. But also one of my favorite movies is Tommy Boy, and the scene with them vacuuming up the moths is hilarious. It makes me laugh every time.
I've never seen that movie. Should we do a podcast on that?
Yes, we should.
I've seen the movie, Steve. I was just trying to make an excuse to watch Tommy Boy.
Yeah. I would say I watch it about twice a year.
I thought you say twice a day.
I mean, I could.
All right. It's always the butterfly's fault, Steve.
Always the butterfly.
Let's just begin the episode, Steve. And it begins, as it always does, with Homer driving the kids to school with the assistance from his new GPS. The robotic voice instructs Homer to turn right in 50 meters. Which confuses him, and Lisa offers that a meter is 3 inches longer than a yard, which is 36 inches, or 18 of my hammers.
Yeah, you have a 2-inch hammer.
It sounds bigger in meters, Steve.
It does.
I'm just reading the script you gave me.
Of course.
And you knew I was going to read this. Lisa offers a not-so-easy equation to figure it out, but Homer has already missed his turn.
Oof. You would think at this point Homer would know how to get to Springfield Elementary, but he's Homer. So the GPS instructs Homer to turn right in half a meter, but as Bart points out, that's headed directly into a construction site. Thinking that Bart is trying to outsmart the computer, Homer makes a turn, heading straight into the construction site that Bart warned him about.
Going back to like the GPS thing, I wonder if this is 2010. Yeah, GPS. Was I using GPS a lot? I don't know.
I'm trying to think because my parents had Carmen? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Carmen? They had a GPS. Yeah, Garmin. There it is. Jeff.
That's Garland.
Pussy.
That's galore.
Ah, yes. And so that would have been, before 2009 for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, it does seem like a little dated.
Well, I wonder if it's the commentary on, we just rely so much, especially now. Like, even work, like when I was going to work, like I still put my GPS on. I know how to get there.
Mm-hmm.
It's just nice for, like, if there's an accident or a traffic jam.
Right.
So I guess maybe it's just so reliant on GPS. Or maybe Homer was just drunk that morning.
That's very possible.
Yeah. But the part I like is, so when they're entering the construction site, Homer's all like, all right, kids, put your seatbelts on. So that means the whole time when they're trying to drive to Springfield Elementary, they're not wearing seatbelts.
Yeah, you would think at least Lisa would put it on, but yeah.
Well, so after finally putting on their seatbelts, Homer and the kids drive through an oil slick, causing the car to spin, and this results into the GPS telling them to turn right, then left, then right. Then they run into various equipment and a worker before being lifted by a magnet, and the navigation device decreases elevation 10 feet, oddly not by 3.048 meters, and then turn left.
So, finally arriving at Springfield Elementary, with the help of a tow truck, Homer tosses the GPS into a nearby fountain where it drowns. Meanwhile, Bart walks into his classroom to find a chaotic scene. Nelson spitting into books, Lewis Clark putting a firecracker in the pencil sharpener, and Wendell spinning the class's pet snake, speaking of animal cruelty, in the air, which shoots out an eaten but not digested mouse, who is still alive. So the rodent shouts freedom in its native tongue, only to fly out of the window into the mouth of an owl perched into a tree. Which is funny. Bart asks about where Mrs. K is. Principal Skinner is happy to give an answer.
Where's Mrs. K?
Mrs. Krabappel had to go to Portland. Apparently the people she hired to deprogram her sister from that cult turned out to be an even worse cult.
So who's going to take her place? Me, I hope.
Not you. Never you. And due to budget cuts until Edna comes back, I have no choice but to merge the school's 2 fourth-grade classes.
The other 4th grade? But they're so different from us. They have music on Tuesdays. Their teacher takes her shoes off.
Their twins are 1 boy, 1 girl.
Weird. All right, new kids, jam your chairs into my kids' desks.
Is anyone here?
Whatever. Is anyone here? Whatever. Is anyone here? Whatever.
Is anyone here?
Whatever.
Sup? I'm Bodie. Do you surf?
No, my parents took me to Hawaii once, but I was intimidated by the physiques of the local kids, so I just stayed in the hotel room.
No, that's cool.
No, it's not cool.
Finally, after 20 seasons, we get to see another 4th grade class.
Yeah.
That's the teacher's Bart.
It's never Bart. But it is Bart, actually.
Yeah, same. It's Nancy doing the voice of the teacher.
Were you like, woo, when they mentioned Portland?
I am a big fan of Portland, Maine, yeah.
Yeah, it's Charter City.
That means in 2010, we could have ran into Mrs. K.
That's true.
Maybe we did. Maybe she was at the bar.
Yeah, maybe one of us got drunk and made out with her and we didn't even realize it.
Steve, do you have something to admit?
Yep, I have Mrs. K's baby. Wait, how does that work?
Is it special?
Yeah, yep, it's a special K.
All right. You're talking about before the clip, I loved the whole rodent, and you said it was a great scene. And I forgot just how the snake is just erect, just flat. I don't know. Poor guy.
Yeah. Also, Nelson spitting into the books and shutting it. It's just a funny.
Yeah. Weird.
It's such a possibly real thing that a dickhead kid would do.
Yeah. And then everyone meeting their counterpart in the other class. It was weird thinking about that in elementary school. Because, there wasn't just the 1 3rd grade or the 1 4th grade. There was multiple classes. And it always sucked too, especially if you made a friend in 2nd grade. And then in the 3rd grade, that friend is now in the other class, and then like the recesses and lunches are always different, so then you never get to see them or hang out with them. I always hated that.
Yeah, because then you'd like fall into different social cliques too, and like maybe one kid was in a more popular clique than the other, and so they'd mock the other kid that used to be like your best friend. I would imagine.
Yeah. Is this triggering Steve?
I mean, that's what the teacher's worried about triggering Steve.
It was triggers. Okay.
Yeah.
So Nelson finds a spot in the classroom, placing his duct-taped lunchbox featuring his mother's workplate classy girls on the desk, which nice little touch that the lunchbox comes from the strip club. And you would think that's like a joke of like a strip club having a lunchbox, but I could definitely see the strip clubs in Portland having lunchboxes.
100%, yeah.
So his new deskmate is named Kevin, and then Kevin proceeds to push the lunchbox onto the ground. And after a death threat, the student apologizes and offers to grab it. And as he gets up, Nelson discovers that Kevin is blind because he's got his cane. So Nelson shouts that if anyone messes with his new seeing-impaired friend, they'd be dead. But Kevin assures Nelson that no one is messing with him. And after he explains that he's not a freak, Nelson praises Kevin's bravery. I just loved Nelson, like, ready to kick this kid's ass for pushing it down, but then seeing that he's blind and he's going to protect him. I like this side of Nelson. Like, he's very nurturing.
Yeah, it's very sweet, and if this show were called The Munces rather than The Simpsons, this would be like a very special episode.
Yeah. Until they find out, like, Willie has been showing them pictures of naked men, especially himself.
Oh. Yeah. So
wasn't that Different Strokes or one of those shows that did that? The shoe salesman?
It was Different Strokes, and it ruined Gordon Jump's career because he was such a good actor at being a pedophile that he couldn't find work until like 20 years later when he was a grandpa on Growing Pains.
You know how now you're supposed to cast, like, if like you're gay or trans, the character, I mean, they kind of want to cast trans or gay for those characters, and I totally get it.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, in the 80s, why didn't they cast Jeffrey Jones or Stephen Collins, you know, for that role of the pedophile?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me borrow your DeLorean, and I'll go back and cast Jeffrey Jones.
All right. Perverts need work, too. Speaking of perverts, Bart finds the last seat available next to a girl with a bow in her hair. She rip opens her Franken-cherry fruit by the foot, placing the fruit snack down the middle of the desk in a classic sitcom style, explaining that one side is hers and the other is his. So after examining her pencil box to learn that her name is Nikki, Bart introduces himself.
So Bart makes small talk, commenting on the craziness of the shared classroom situation, but Nikki ignores him by reading a book. Bart acknowledges the snub, then takes out a tooting whistle to hone his armpit fart skills. Nikki continues to read, but lets out a little smile.
Aw. So over in the second grade class, Miss Hoover is handing back a recent test. She happily states that everyone did well on the exam, except for one person, Lisa Simpson. She received an F, getting every question wrong on a very basic true or false quiz on American geography, which I'm pretty sure that we've seen before. The exact same test.
Should we do the test?
I mean, we can do it, yeah.
I'll test you, Steve. Okay, ready?
Okay.
10 questions, true or false. Number 10. Alaska became the 49th state in 1959.
I'm going to say...
This is rapid fire, Steve. Time's running out.
False.
That's incorrect. It's true. I don't need to say that's incorrect. It's true, since it's true or false, okay? Number 9. Boston is the capital of Massachusetts.
That's false. It's M.
That's correct. Detroit is the largest city in the US.
And you and I? That's for sure. I love the Red Wings.
All right, this one's for a Patreon subscriber, Timothy. Minnesota was one of the 13th colonies.
Sure, why not?
In Timothy's voice.
Sure, why not, eh? Don't you know?
This one's for your wife. Hawaii is the most southern state.
That's Florida.
That's what F stands for? Florida,
yeah,
not false.
Exactly.
Okay. Washington, D.C. is a state?
I believe it's called Washington AC now. The American colony.
What does Columbia have to do with it, right?
Yeah.
Las Vegas is the titty capital of Nevada.
You know it.
Sacramento is the capital of California.
False. It's got to be L.A. It's where all the stars are.
And Rhode Island is the worst state because Quahog is there.
Exactly. Check out our new Patreon and I'll tell you why. So Lisa assumes it's all a bad dream, but when she jumps off her desk, she has a rude awakening. Meanwhile, Bart dives into his favorite literature of George W. Bush, while Nikki continues to read her vampire romantasy.
An F? Okay, this is the time when I always wake up. Come on, alarm clock, get me out of this!
Sorry, Lisa. This F is all too real.
No, it's not, Dream Hoover. And as long as I'm asleep, I'm gonna have some fun. I can fly! Whee! Oh, this isn't a dream. I really did fail.
I take no joy in this, Little Miss Perfect.
Whoa. Damn, this caterpillar can eat. Damn! Damn!
Do you mind?
Oh man, you girls ruin everything. Even vampires.
Hey, vampires are cool outsiders who love girls who hate cheerleaders.
No, they're all about chomping neck. And they don't put product in their hair like this loser.
Lisa getting the F and believing she's in a dream is such a great sequence. And I'd say relatable. I remember, not saying like specific dreams, but definitely that feeling of like, it's a dream. And you try everything to get out of it. It's a lot of fun. Dreams are cool.
Yeah. I do think it's funny, maybe not at this time, because we're talking about the GPS and having less cell phone reliance, but nowadays, do you use an alarm clock?
We've had this discussion before, but I have one, but no, I don't use the actual alarm on it. It's always the phone.
Yeah, I always think it's weird, like on TV shows that are set in modern times, and they're still using an alarm clock. It just seems antiquated to me, but I don't know.
This is 2010, though. I think we're still
That's true.
knee deep in clock technology.
So, of course, we meet Nikki, and that is comedian Sarah Silverman playing her. And that's 2 years before she played Vanellope in Disney's Wreck-It Ralph. Sarah Silverman, great comedian. I've always been a fan. What are your thoughts on Sarah Silverman?
Yeah, me too.
Cool.
I loved the Sarah Silverman program that was on Comedy Central.
Mm-hmm.
I liked all the actors and comedians that were on the show.
Sure.
Even to this day, I think they're all great.
Especially one of those cops.
Yeah. I always loved the portrayal of Steve Agee and Brian Posehn.
Yeah.
They were two gay men, but they didn't play that stereotype flamboyant gay character that TV shows always had men play.
Yeah, they were just dudes.
Yeah. Gross dudes. And I'm not saying gross because of they were just like dudes. And all dudes are gross.
Exactly.
And her sister in real life, Laura played her sister. It was great. She, of course, was the wife of the cop character.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that program just always it meant to push boundaries of what you could say or do on TV,
Mm-hmm. And it was the first show that I remember to tackle the white dog poop situation.
And now you don't see white dog poop anywhere.
I know.
It's a bummer, isn't it?
It is. It's sad.
You know what I hate is, this is a tangent, but real quick, speaking of dog poop, is when we go for walks, we don't have a dog, but I'll see shit bags on the sidewalk, like in someone's like garden or like flower bed. It's like fucking people that like, they have, I think I've probably brought this on the podcast. It just grinds my gears that they have the wherewithal to pick up the dog shit with their plastic bag hand, tie it up and wrap it, but then they just put it in someone's yard.
You were 90% there, yeah.
In my head, I'm like, oh, it's probably kids. But I bet it's not. I bet it's fucking, like, old people.
Oh, yeah, 100% it's got to be old people.
Fucking boomers. Like, in my day, we'd have to clean up the shit. We would just let our dog shit on the lawn, and it would turn white, and Reagan was the president.
Everything was good. Michael J. Fox, Michael Jackson, other people named Michael.
Racism was pretty much obliterated thanks to people like Bill Cosby and Michael Jordan, but no, Obama had to bring it back.
Yeah, those
Thanks,
two
Obama.
Great men who are great role models, both of them.
And Will Smith, sorry.
Of course, yeah. That new song of his is a banger. He likes pretty girls.
Anyways, we all love Sarah Silverman here on this program.
Yes.
After mocking Nikki's book, Red Moon, which is a parody, I think, of the New Moon of the Twilight series. That was the second book, Steve.
Of course.
What was your favorite of the Twilight books?
Probably the last one, because that meant I was done. Because I had to read them all for some reason.
Did you actually read them? I was making a joke.
I think I read the first one because of a person I was dating asked me to, and it was horrible.
Was it Sarah Silverman?
It was.
Wait a minute. Are you Jimmy Kimmel?
I am worried about getting my show canceled now, so...
I'll see if you really are Jimmy Kimmel. How's your cousin Sal?
He's great. You know who's not great? Adam Carolla.
But you're still friends with him, right?
I think so, weirdly.
How about this? Girls jumping on trampolines.
I've moved on past that, I think.
Hey, do your Karl Malone impersonation, including blackface.
Not anymore.
All right. So Bart draws his version of a vampire. It's a classic Dracula in his suit, shooting a machine gun, as Dracula does in one hand.
Of course.
And then holding the decapitated head of Jedi Master Yoda. This is before Baby Yoda.
Of course, no Grogu.
Nikki thinks Bart's picture is awesome and is happy to allow him to draw a robot barfing screws on her arm in permanent marker. And Bart finishes impressive artwork with his signature, leaving a smile on Nikki's face. I gotta say, it is impressive, like, how fast he is drawing those screws. Which, can you even draw? I'm trying to draw a screw right now. It just looks like a weird key.
Yeah, it's hard to draw a screw and his robot, which it almost looks like he drew it what I would draw backwards, but it looks really good.
I was just looking to make sure that he drew it with his left hand, because people forget, Bart is famously left-handed.
That's true. So outside, Lisa sits alone on a teeter-totter, lamenting about her F and hoping that Harvard never finds out. In the orbit above, a satellite from the Ivy League school zooms in its camera on Lisa. Just then, Lisa is elevated as someone sits on the other half of the seesaw. A fellow student offers to teeter to her totter, since Lisa seems a lot cooler since getting that F.
And another kid asks Lisa if she'd like to skip rope, replacing the tree that the rope is tied to. Other kids offer to eat lunch with her, share their lunch, and attend their birthday parties. One boy even asks her to love me, and Lisa is enjoying the attention, but it seems that it may be short-lived.
Wow, this is kind of great.
Lisa, can I speak to you for a moment?
Uh-oh, looks like I'm in more trouble. Born to be bad.
There was a mix-up with your test. You got an A++. Seems the F belonged to Ralph.
I cheated wrong. I copied the Lisa name and used the Ralph answers. Gifted, gifted, gifted. I'm just advanced. You can catch up. Gifted.
This is a cartoon, I realize, and I don't want to poke holes. But two things. One, Lisa should have been able to look at the test, realizes that all the answers are wrong, and her name isn't written the way that she writes her name, and be like, hey, Miss Hoover, you fucked up. But also, how do you get a AAA on a true or false question?
Yeah, there wasn't any bonus questions, right? Or extra credit questions.
Yeah, I mean, maybe she wrote in the margins that, Rhode Island's, square footage or something. I don't know.
Yeah, unless, maybe there's something on the back.
Maybe, yeah.
What if it was graded on the curve? Maybe there was, majority got, 7 right, and she was the one who got 10 right.
That's possible.
But, to be fair, I'm going to play advocate for the devil. Ralph did say he copied Lisa's name, so he probably copied the penmanship of Lisa.
That's a good point. I'll accept that.
All right, so case dismissed.
Yes, but watch yourself, counselor.
Do I still have a $50 fine and time served?
That's right. Now go hang out with some sex workers and the dad from Addams Family, John Aston.
Ah, okay.
Back in the driveway of 742 Evergreen Terrace, Bart walks up to what he thinks is Homer, working underneath the family station wagon. He's looking for advice on how to talk to girls, but finds that his father isn't replying. Just then, Homer appears behind Bart, holding a cup of ice cream. Bart's startled, but Homer explains that he's using fake legs to make Marge think that he's working on the car. Bart's impressed, but wants to focus on his own problems.
So Marge sees Homer from the bedroom window and asks why he isn't replacing her brakes. And Homer panics, hiding underneath the car next to his false limbs. And Bart needs to talk about man stuff, so Homer directs him to go to Grandpa. And since he was once a man, much to Bart's disbelief. And Abe sits on the lawn chair, struggling to peel a banana, begging the yellow devil to give up the goods. And Steve, that's how I know there's a God, by the way, because a human, can hold a banana.
Wow. You and Kirk Cameron have really opened up my eyes. That makes a lot of sense.
Should we tell Kirk Cameron that bananas have been altered throughout the years, and they were never originally like they are. Okay, we won't. We won't talk about evolution and science with him. What a rude reference I just made. I like to, and you probably in your mind, think that this is the episode, the sequel episode, or the episode that takes place the next day after the episode where Bart and has Otto's wedding, the episode with Parker Posey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because Homer was trying to change the oil in that episode, and then he cut the brake line, and now he's trying to fix those brakes.
That makes a lot of sense.
And so Bart being like in love in this episode, he was just inspired by Otto and man, what was Parker Posey's character's name? Becky! Shut up, Becky!
Of course, yeah.
This is the spiritual sequel.
I like it. I didn't think about that, but you make an excellent point. Much like Kirk Cameron did when he talked about the existence of God.
He still does, Steve.
Of course. Inside the house, Bart peels a banana for his grandfather and explains his plight. He likes Nikki, but he's not sure if she likes him back. Grandpa says the one way to find out is to steal a kiss. Bart asks if that'll actually work. Abe remembers his own romantic conquests as though it was yesterday. And then a thought bubble appears, but rather than a memory, Abe just gets television static, which is, pretty funny.
Yeah, we always look for the thought bubble in every episode, and there it is, and I think the joke that's just static is great. So the next day, Bart sees Nikki outside of the school, skateboarding with skill and ease. She gives him a come hither wink, and Bart joins her on his own board. So they skate between kids on the swing, underneath and over some picnic tables, down some stairs, off some playground ponies, through a tube, swinging on tetherballs, across the monkey bars, and up the slide.
Wow. Once atop that slide, Nikki grabs Bart by the shirt and asks what they should do next. And then Bart has an image of Abe eating a banana and telling him to kiss her, you idiot. Bart goes in for the smooch, but Nikki doesn't appreciate his affection. As we'll hear in this clip, the kiss results in both of their parents meeting with Principal Skinner.
Bart Simpson kissed me! Oh my god, and that was my first kiss! It will always be my first kiss! Ew!
Say ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
That was great! Really great!
Marge, Homer, this is Brody and Madison McKenna. Bart has been sharing a desk with their daughter, Nikki.
Earlier today, your son engaged in inappropriate mouth-on-mouth contact with our daughter.
You mean he kissed her?
On the top of the slide.
That's all that happened? And I got to miss work? Oh, I could kiss you.
Mr. Simpson, I'm an attorney, and my husband is a federal prosecutor, and neither of us is happy.
Well, maybe you guys should look for easier jobs.
I mean, that joke called for a rim shot.
Of course.
I love how Nikki is just grossed out by her first kiss, is Bart Simpson. And, I'm thinking this episode going in wait, I thought she liked her. I mean, we'll, hear more about it, but what if this is just what it was? What if it's just, they're hanging out and being friends and then forever having that memory? Because I think so much of your youth and your, I guess, love life is always my first kiss, my first blowjob, my first hand job, my first rim job, my first paying job. You always think about those things when you're 10.
And if you're a Catholic, it can all happen at once in the church. I think also, for a young romantic, you might fall in love with somebody who you talk to, like a young girl or boy or whatever you're into, and think oh, this person is going to be the one because I'm 10 and I'm falling in love. But they might just think, hey, this is a person that's near me and I hang out with them and I don't have the same feelings. So it's very relatable.
Steve, are you going through some stuff right now?
I don't think so. Well, yeah.
I don't remember my first kiss. Have I ever been kissed? I'm trying to think. I try to think, but nothing happens.
Push a little harder.
I don't even think my parents kissed me. Did my parents ever kiss you?
I don't think so, or if they did, I don't remember it.
All I remember is my mom bashed your hand in with the van.
Yep. Outside of the mall. Yeah, after seeing Star Trek Generations.
Was it Generations? Oh.
It might not have been. It was a Star Trek movie, I remember.
That's funny. Yeah, it probably was then. Oh, no, it was the Borg one, I bet.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I laughed. Anyways, I love the scene as another visual joke that, because Nelson's with Kevin, and after Nikki runs off, Nelson's telling him to ha. I love this relationship.
It's a lot of fun.
But the lawyer parents, just really funny. And that joke at the end, too, is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
So Nikki's mother tells Skinner that if he doesn't make the school an affection-free environment, they'll sue the school for every last dime. And after Skinner shows off the school's very last dime, Madison McKenna warns Homer that they will make him regret the day Bart was born, but Homer replies that they already are halfway there.
So Bart tells Homer and Marge that it was Grandpa who advised him to kiss Nikki, leading Marge to wonder why Abe just didn't tell Bart to club her on the head and drag her into a cave. And Abe thinks Bart is a little young for that, which in Abe's mind is second base.
Bart thinks he can talk reason into Nikki, but Homer is scared of the possible financial implications. So he tells Bart that if he gets close to her, they could sue them into the poorhouse, where they will be forced to eat garbage for the rest of their days. But Bart is not concerned, as he feels that Marge can make garbage taste great, and Marge thanks him for the compliment, and they share this sweet mother-son moment. Also just goes to show that Marge's cooking is kind of like garbage.
Yeah, I think this is probably a common occurrence, where if, your mom's a poor cook, but that's the only food that you've ever had, you're like, this garbage is okay. But then, you grow up and you make real food, and you're like, oh, I could be better. So maybe someday Bart will realize that Marge is a bad cook.
I just hope we all do.
Indeed. Homer offers his own parenting skills, giving Bart a wholesome activity to take his mind off girls. A 3D Itchy and Scratchy movie in the theater. And, Bart finally got to see Itchy and Scratchy in the theater. So, seeing his favorite cat and mouse on the big screen. If only life were like that in 3D. And Homer is having fun as well, saying that 3 glasses smell as though the previous wearer had pizza.
Yum, yum.
Mm-hmm.
So on the screen, Itchy saws Scratchy's head off and kicks it into a vast canyon, so the head twirls, splurting blood as it falls. And the title appears in red text saying, Koyanagi Scratchy, Death Out of Balance, a parody of Koyanagi-esque Life of Balance in the 1982 Godfrey Reggio non-narrative documentary featuring a minimalist score by Philip Glass. But you guys knew that.
Of course, yeah, everybody watches Koyanagi. It's actually on Amazon Prime, and I've been wanting to check it out because it's a really weird film where it's just almost like found footage. There's no plot, it's just weird stuff happening, so I might check it out. Maybe we can do a Patreon about it.
If it was ever the #1 movie in the box office, I will watch it.
Fair enough. I'm going to say that you're probably safe. We watch the fate of Scratchy's disembodied head, as well as everyday scenes from modern life from around the world. Meanwhile, Scratchy's body climbs up the cliff to find its head, which has become a bird's nest. The cat places his head back on the neck, breathing a sigh of relief, and then 2 birds emerge from their eggs, poking his eyes out from the inside, just as Itchy shoots him with a shotgun.
While Bart and Homer laugh at the excessive blood and guts, Lisa uses her online gardening form, Monday Mulchings, to express her pain of being an overachiever in a mentally lackluster world.
Dear fellow organic gardening enthusiasts, I'm afraid I am too sad to post my list of garden-friendly snails. Yet again, I have seen the bitter truth of how difficult it is to be smart and accepted. With mulch love, Lisa Simpson. Mulch love, that's good. Somebody posted a comment? Don't stop achieving just yet, Lisa. You are not alone. Flotus 1. Oh? Flotus 1? Who could that be?
Attention all students, please report to an attorney-mandated school assembly. To make time for this, the 3rd grade's performance of My Fair Lady is canceled.
I say, that's rum news. Very rum indeed.
Lisa's kind of dumb not knowing what Flotus is, or are we just that smart?
No, I think she's that dumb. I mean, come on, you can figure it out. Also, don't you think it's interesting that the couch gag featured bugs, and we had Bart reading The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and Lisa's talking about snails.
The funny thing is, on this same week, the Family Guy episode was all about ants, but the same story.
Wow.
It was ants with a Z.
Oh, okay.
Roman Polanski was the voice, not Woody Allen.
Right. And Sylvester Stallone was in there somewhere, too.
Is he a pedophile? I was making a pedophile joke.
Oh, I mean, He was actually one of the ants, I think.
Oh!
I mean, he might be a pedophile too, I don't know.
Well, let's ask him right now.
Ew. My relationship with kids, they're, rocky.
That was bad. Okay.
Anyway, Super Nintendo Chalmers hosts a school assembly telling the student body, the McKennas and Homer and Marge, that a certain fourth grader committed an act that a century ago would be considered sweet and innocent, but in today's litigious times, it has blown way out of proportion. Nelson sums up Chalmers' speech to Kevin, but his blind friend reminds him that he can still hear.
So Chalmers then introduces a skit or a sketch showing the behavior that the kids shouldn't display until they're in middle school. Steve, you did improv. Is this considered a skit or a sketch?
It's a skit. A sketch is a lot more fleshed out scene with character work, and, it's basically like a whole improv scene that's written, whereas a skit is just a little bit that people do. So what you see on Saturday Night Live, that's a sketch. What you do in school is a skit.
What's this podcast?
Crap.
All right. So the curtain opens to a set made that looks like the playground with a sign that says school premises.
I love that joke.
Is that also the name of your improv group?
It is, yeah.
All right.
It's a double entendre, see, because you're on the school property, the premises, but there's a plot ideas, premises.
I love it. Okay. Groundskeeper Willie, in a dress and wig, acts as a wee little lass combing her beautiful hair. Skinner joins Willie on the stage as America's favorite underachiever. And as we'll hear in this clip, Homer is pressed by Seymour's dramatic skills.
I'm Bart Simpson, disruptive fourth grader.
Woo! I finally caught one of Bart's school plays.
That's not Bart. It's Principal Skinner. Bart's sitting right next to you.
Yeah, now that I look closer, that guy couldn't fool anybody.
Shut up, fatso.
Well, you little sick neck!
Now, players, recreate the incident in question.
Hey, Willie, does he taste like failure?
Stop that laughter! I can make these two kiss all day if I have to. If you want them to keep on kissing, just keep laughing.
I love the threat at the end of Chalmers.
I feel like I experienced something like that with a substitute teacher at some point in elementary school where kids were being disruptive and they were like, well, if you don't stop talking, we won't get back to our lesson. So the kids were like, look at each other and it's like, okay.
That's a good point. Yeah. I love Skinner's cosplay as Bart Simpson.
Very good.
Waited 21 seasons to see him don the uniform.
And it fooled Homer for a little bit. As a result of the zero-tolerance affection policy, signs have been hung in the hallway. One features TV star Alaska Nebraska, who we talked about last week, saying that she took the no-touching pledge. Another shows two germs kissing as a typical 1950s husband and wife, with the text, "Cooties are real." And a third poster shows a student drowning wearing a motorboard, and the words, "Loose lips sink scholarships."
Seeing all the anti-smooching propaganda, Bart wonders if perhaps he did something wrong. So he opens his locker to find Nikki standing inside. She tells him that she hates to see him in pain, and then kisses him. So Bart stands dumbfounded, and Nikki comments on his confusion. After a second kiss, Bart wants to know what is going on. He calls Nikki the biggest psycho he's ever met, but he certainly doesn't want to stop making out with her.
Outside, Lisa lies on the ground, despondent. A military helicopter flies overhead, blowing Willie's leaf pile on top of Lisa. Milhouse recognizes the chopper as a VH N60 Whitehawk, just as 4 soldiers in battle armor rappel from the whirlybird to spray paint a landing pad. The door opens, and a very important person steps outside. Nelson recognizes her as First Lady Michelle Obama, before spitting in his hair down to make it look nice and tucking in his vest. Secret Service agents erect a makeshift podium, complete with the non-existent seal of the First Lady.
I flew in from Turkmenistan because there's a wonderful young person here who's feeling a little discouraged.
I sure am.
This young lady thinks just because she's a high achiever, no one will ever like her. Well, as I tell school children all over the world, I was a high achiever. I got A's back when A's were hard to get. I was just like Lisa Simpson. That's right, Lisa. As an avid organic gardener, I've read your blog.
Flotus 1 is First Lady of the United States 1.
Yes, I wanted just Flotus, but someone had it.
That's me, because I swim with my Flotuses on.
Everything I have, I got through academics. I went to Chicago's first magnet high school, then Princeton, then Harvard Law.
And now you're the most elegant and popular woman in the world.
Well, I don't know about that. There's Carla Bruni, Queen New of Jordan.
They're nothing compared to you!
Can't believe they got, at the time, First Lady Michelle Obama to do a voice on The Simpsons.
Neither can I, because they didn't. But they did get a big name. That's actually Angela Bassett playing the former First Lady.
I think that's more impressive because Angela Bassett is the Queen of Wakanda.
That's true. Wakanda forever.
Better country than America.
Most are these days, but yes, Wakanda's great.
That's true. Although she is dead. Spoilers for Wakanda forever.
Oh, man. And, you know, it was a very affectionate thing, but really, what's love got to do with it? She played Tina Turner in the movie.
Yeah.
In a September 2016 Variety article, James L. Brooks said that he had tried really hard to actually get Michelle Obama, but she sent a letter back saying, "Good try." And as of this date, there have been several First Ladies on The Simpsons, all not voiced by themselves. We had Barbara Bush, I think we had Hillary Clinton at some point, and here we are. I doubt Melania's going to make an appearance, too.
Oh, come on, Melania. Be a sport.
Yeah. Be best.
Yeah. I feel like the Obamas are going to have to come on The Simpsons to promote their new sketch comedy show that Larry David's doing. That's like the weirdest news. Do you know this bit of news?
This is news to me.
So Obama and Larry David are producing like, I want to say HBO, because HBO, like sketch comedy show about history.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I will say that Michelle Obama had a show on Netflix, a children's show with puppets called Waffles and Mochi. It's a food education program, basically, about nutrition and whatnot. And it was very cute, very well done. And so I think that's great. But the idea of Larry David combining with Obama is very confusing to me.
Well, Larry David's like one of those history nerds.
Yeah.
Just into, I think he's like really into like Civil War history and stuff like that.
First
Lady Obama tells Nelson that her success isn't a contest, but is confident of where she'd place if it were. So she tells the kids that before she was the woman standing before them, she was a nerd. And Skinner chimes in to offer a lesson, but Michelle cuts him off. Stop trying to mansplain, Skinner. Chalmers explains that Skinner is their Joe Biden, and the First Lady gets it. Very solid joke. She instructs the crowd to be kind to the overachievers like Lisa, as someday they will run the country, and you don't want them to screw up. Not a political podcast.
Yes. When asked where the other overachievers are, the students, including one oddly dressed like Ace Ventura, stand silently. Martin speaks up, followed by another little girl. Followed by a little girl. Nelson's not a little girl. One of the Marines from the helicopter also steps forward, stating that he was 5th in his class at Annapolis, and that he scaled the highest summits of 6 of the 7 continents. And Michelle gives him false praise before reminding him to bring the scooper when taking their dog out, Bo, for a walk, or else, they'll piss off Craig.
I was looking at the kid that looks like Ace Ventura. He maybe also looks like Jimmy Neutron?
He does, yeah, that's true too.
It's funny. So they go to reboard the aircraft and fly out, but the agents have a difficulty opening the door. Luckily, Michelle is there to roll up her sleeves and use her muscular arms, and opens the hatch with ease. Steve, why did I say muscular arms? That was in the script.
Because she does have famously well-built arms. They're kind of a thing that she's known for, and that led to a lot of really dumb conspiracy theories on the right, saying that she wasn't who she actually says she was, just because the idea of having people of color in the White House really bothers them because they're assholes. Again, not a political podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at a picture, Steve. I think I have a new conspiracy theory. I think she's actually a man.
Oh, maybe you're right.
All right. That's not a conspiracy theory that people would believe, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it because that'd be stupid.
Let me see his birth certificate, all right?
I saw a video of him getting arrested and, well, I believe it, so.
Was it on the actual president's Twitter page?
Of course it was. The most
Then it's true.
trustable thing, yeah. Trustable?
Trustable.
The chopper flies away, and on the roof of the school, Bart and Nikki watch. Nikki saying that it was the most amazing event to ever occur at Springfield Elementary. And Bart is equally impressed, but thinks that their budding relationship will also cause a stir.
That is the most amazing thing that's ever happened to this school.
Well, yeah, till they find out about us.
What do you mean, us?
Well, like, aren't you my girlfriend now?
Oh, you mean like you own me?
I'm sorry.
Ugh, you're always apologizing.
Just tell me what you want.
You should know what I want.
I want you to act the same way 2 days in a row. Ugh. I'm not gonna let you hurt me anymore. Ah!
Yeah, Steve, you should know what I want.
I'm sorry.
Bart falls off the roof. That's what happened. You hear that scream. And he lays on the ground unconscious, and Nikki cries out that he's dead and that she loves him. But when he begins to breathe, she calls him a loser.
No.
So Bart's lifeless body ceases to breathe again as discovered by Willie, who pokes him with his rake.
Not that one. The groundskeeper asks, who knows gob to gob, but is met with blank stares. He clarifies mutton hole to mutton hole, but the confusion persists. Chalmers states that no one is to come close to Bart until an ambulance arrives, since any physical contact would violate the school's new no-touching policy. Thinking quickly, Skinner pushes Bart to the curb using a pool. Skimmer!
Nikki breaks through the crowd saying she knows CPR, and Skinner tries to stop her, saying he would prefer a dead child than a lawsuit from Nikki's parents. So Nikki rolls her eyes, hops on her skateboard, and skates over to Skinner, smacking him in the face. She runs to Bart, places her lips on his, and as they embrace, Bart imagines a montage of iconic on-screen kisses from media such as
From Here to Eternity,
Gone with the Wind,
The Quiet Man,
Lady and the Tramp,
Planet of the Apes,
On Golden Pond,
Ghost,
Spider-Man,
Star Trek,
Beauty and the Beast, the TV series, Steve.
Yes, with that guy. The Public Enemy, specifically the iconic scene where James Caddy kisses May Clark with a grapefruit.
Wall-E,
Alien 3, which is not actually from the movie, instead a scene where the alien corners Ripley and its inner draw kisses her, and the critic did that first.
Yeah, I remember that. Godfather, Part 2.
And All in the Family, in the episode Sammy's Visit, where Sammy Davis Jr. kisses Archie Bunker. Classic.
I knew those two were a couple of hummuses.
Hey, that's a good callback from our very special Patreon episode.
Yeah, if you want to know what that joke is from, subscribe to our Patreon for just $5 a day, or is it a month?
Let's start with the day, but if you can't do that, we'll do a month.
Okay. Can you think of any more iconic kisses from film or television?
Yeah.
I mean, do you have a favorite movie kiss? I know that's a weird question.
No, that's a good question. I'm trying to think.
I mean, that Spider-Man one is kind of iconic from 2002.
I know that, we were, probably, nearly adults in that, but, that is one of the most iconic kissing scenes of my lifetime, I think.
Right, we were still, the horned-up age, so it was perfect for us.
Right. For me, the first time Winnie Cooper and Kevin Arnold kissed, that was a big deal for me.
Maybe when Ross kissed Monica on Friends.
Yeah. We were on a break from normal morality.
Ross and Monica, they hooked up, right?
I think so, yeah. They around season 9, they were running out of ideas, and they were just all the characters with all the characters.
And they moved to the South, right? That's to make the storyline work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is there an iconic... Oh, you know which one I like, and I think is great, is Back to the Future, when Marty's mom and dad finally kiss at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance, because Earth Angel's playing, and he's, fading out of existence, and then, they finally kiss, and he's back to full strength. Yeah, that's a great kiss. Why did they put that one in there?
Yeah, I think, I don't know the movie, but I think The Notebook had a memorable kiss in the rain.
Brokeback Mountain.
Yes. Titanic.
Jaws. The shark tried to kiss everybody.
Sure. Oh, of course, Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, brother and sister, yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber, actually. I think it's more the daydreaming kissing of Lauren Holland.
Right.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it the one where he does or is it Jeff? See, I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Isn't it someone put a full mouth on?
Yeah, that's the...
Is that Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah, it is. And I think he like lifts up her skirt to show the camera her butt. And then eventually they go to make love and she takes off her dress and her breasts are headlights. Yeah.
Still all fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, tell us your favorite on-screen kiss at 13simpsons@gmail.com. All right, Steve, let's wrap up this episode. Bart comes to, and the kids cheer. Willie is less impressed, once again laying a smackaroo on Seymour's lips. So with things get back to normal, Kevin gets to know Nelson a little better, and Bart learns that young love can be a mystery.
Nelson, now that the ban's been lifted, let me touch your face. That way I can see you with my fingers. Ew, I said your face, not your butt.
Oh, you feel comfortable enough to mock me. Oh, that's for mocking me.
Nelson, your punch restored my vision. I can see again.
Really? Kevin, that's wonderful. The student has become the master.
Nikki, thanks for saving my life.
Look, can we just pretend that never happened? I don't want everyone at school to go around thinking I like you.
I don't get you. You're hot, you're cold. What is your deal?
Ah, Bart, you've got a few things to learn about women. And I will never tell you what they are.
I give up. Smell you later.
Mwah.
I love you.
Aw.
It's weird that Bart's using Nelson's catchphrase of smell you later.
I know. Maybe it caught on.
Yeah. I like how the student has become the master for Kevin and Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Pretty good joke.
Well, that's how the episode ends, Steve. So
wow.
I think we should take a little break, come back, and wrap it up.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's finish up this week's episode. Stealing First Base. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes, give a MVJ, Most Valuable Jokester, give it a review, find out what we're watching next week, and then go home.
Yay!
Before all of that, we like to find something from this episode that could be made as a gift. Now, years ago when we did this podcast, we used to find something that would be made into a tattoo. And I thought, let's bring that back. So I'm getting you a couple of tattoos.
Oh boy.
I am getting you the tattoo of Dracula with a machine gun holding the decapitated head of Yoda. And I'm going to put that on your right thigh.
Oh, nice.
And then on your left arm, I'm going to get a tattoo of a robot spitting up screws.
I like it.
And it'll actually have Bart Simpson's signature.
Very nice.
But you don't just get tattoos, Steve. You also get fake legs. So when you want to look like you're working on the undercarriage of a car, but really just want to eat ice cream, so your wife thinks you're doing something. So here's some fake legs for that.
Nice.
And I got you a meeting with FLOTUS herself. That's right. Melania Trump will give you a speech.
Oh boy. Well, that's very sweet of you, Craig. And don't think those gifts aren't appreciated, because I got stuff for you as well. So I got you some Frankencherry fruit by the foot. And you know, you can't carry that around unencumbered. So of course I got you a classy girl's lunchbox. And you know, you need to hold your school supplies too. So I got you a bedazzled pencil box that says Craig, not Nikki. And you know, just because you get lost all the time, I also got you a GPS.
What if I did want the box to say Nikki? You ever thought of that?
You can get that too then.
All right, thank you.
Of course.
Steve, what made you laugh in this episode? Do you have a most valuable jokester?
Ooh. I thought that the assembly was very funny, forcing Willie and Skinner to kiss forever, and Chalmers being like, "If you kids don't stop laughing, we're gonna keep this going." Very relatable. of course, the school premises sign. The Itchy and Scratchy was a lot of fun. I really like that. I love Grandpa and his banana, for whatever that means. But if I have to give a jokester, I think Sarah Silverman deserves honorable mention because she did a great job as Nikki. But I think I have to give it to Kevin. I think Kevin's reaction to Nelson's well-meaning, if misplaced, sweetness was just a lot of fun. And I love the two of their dynamics. Also, I forgot to mention, I really love the chaos in the beginning when they get to school with Lewis Clark putting the firecracker in the pencil sharpener, Nelson spitting in the books, and the kid terrorizing that poor snake, and the mouse spitting out. So, yeah. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, I think I would go with the Nelson Kevin as my MVJ. I think that gave me the most laughs. And you're right, the school assembly, well, certainly was the one with most laughs. I liked when Homer and Marge were meeting with Sarah Silverman's character's parents, and the joke of maybe you shouldn't work such hard jobs. And you're right, the chaos before Krabappel hasn't shown up, and just the idea of all these fourth grade kids not knowing their counterparts, the class, a fun premise. And even Ralph is kind of funny in this episode. I know, like, at this point, Ralph is we've had, like, his jokes. He's just kind of a one-off or one-note character. But him trying to copy Lisa and copy her name first, and then having the handle FLOTUS because of his FLOTUSes, this is very funny. And the homages to the famous screen kisses, especially the end with Archie Bunker and Sammy Davis Jr. This is definitely for fans of the media known as television and film,
which we fall into.
Yeah. So that being said, Steve, what do you think of this episode as a whole?
I think this is a lot of fun. You know, you have basically three plots, an A, B, and a C. Bart and Nikki's story is a lot of fun because, you know, we're not done with Bart's summer yet, but thus far, I really feel like this relationship feels the most, like, organic and natural and real. It just seems like something that a kid would experience. The confusion of a young girl. Does she like me? Does she not? I really like that. Lisa, even though she's kind of dumb in this episode, I think that having the First Lady show up to support her, I think that's really great. And I think that Angela Bassett did a great job as Michelle Obama. And of course, Kevin and Nelson having a great time. And you know what? I didn't even miss Maggie, who is nowhere to be seen in this episode at all. Really solid episode. I'm going to call it a watch. I liked it a lot. And if I had to give a ranking, according to the International Movie Database, Michelle Obama does have 11 acting credits in shows from iCarly all the way to Waffles and Mochi, as I previously mentioned. So between iCarly and Waffles and Mochi's, I'm going to give this a Parks and Recreation. What about you, Craig?
Well, I believe the Lisa storyline of thinking she's dumb, we've seen this before, but mostly as like an A story, you know, with the Simpson gene. She couldn't figure out that riddle of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that were mirrored together. And then her, you know, of course, just trying to be cool. It's fine. You know, it's for me, it's kind of the filler.
Sure.
And so like the Michelle Obama thing just feels kind of like tacked on. And had actual Michelle Obama done the voice, I feel like that would have turned into an A story, or they would have reworked it somehow. So that's kind of like my only negative.
That's fair.
I mean, it's not that negative. I still enjoy this episode because I think the reality of 10-year-old kids, or just when you're a kid, not sure of your emotions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it plays off well. Like, in my eyes, like, Sarah Silverman's character is not, like, crazy, you know, I'm doing quotes.
Right.
It's just your hormones. At one point, you like someone, at the point, like, no, it's disgusting. Why am I doing this? Because you're still, like, grasping on your childhood, but then you're also trying to mature. And so it's very relatable in that way. She's not that much of a bad girl that he's dated before with, like, Meryl Streep or Sarah Michelle Gellar's girlfriend characters. It's a complicated thing, and, you know, I feel like we should see more of her. I know we see her once, the character, and we saw that episode.
Right.
But I'm not sure if the character, I saw she had like 4 voice credits on The Simpsons, but I don't think it continues, does it?
Not that I know of, but let me look.
But you've been known to have been wrong many times on this podcast.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
You absolutely are. But that being said, it's another fun aspect of growing up, and it's relatable. We've talked about this before as kids. Like, we've had like girlfriends for a day in school, and then they don't want to be our girlfriends anymore because it's growing up, it's hormones. So yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of laughs. If I gave this a ranking, one of the kissing scenes was from the 2009 J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie. Mm-hmm. And Steve, did you know that Sarah Silverman, guest on this podcast episode, was actually in a two-parter of Star Trek Voyager? She played a character named Rain Robinson. Now, if that's not a comic book character name, then I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So if I were to give this a ranking out of Star Trek Voyager, of all their episodes they did, probably over 100, I'm imagining. Look, number one, I'd say fans of Star Trek Voyager would say Year of Hell or Scorpion is like the best episodes. Well, this episode of The Simpsons is not quite that episode. Threshold is probably considered the worst episode of Voyager, but this isn't a Threshold, Steve. No, I think this episode's more of a blink of an eye. Wouldn't you agree?
100%. I couldn't put it better myself.
That being said, I think we're saying it's a watch. I think it's another nice belt notch on Bart's summer. Notch on belt's Bart, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sex reference. Okay. But I don't think Bart's done with love this summer so far, because we got another episode, Steve.
Ooh.
And I'll have you know the season and episode number it is. It's season 16, episode 15. What do you think that title would be?
This episode was called Stealing First Base. And of course, stealing first base is, stealing a kiss, as Grandpa would say. Which you shouldn't steal. It's wrong, Grandpa. And you should give. And so, let's go to third base. I'm going to say this episode is Giving Oral Sex. Giving moral sex, M-O-E.
Moral sex, I get it. You're wrong. It's actually called Future Drama.
Future Drama.
What do you think that episode's about?
Well, I think that Lisa becomes a playwright, and she starts to write plays, but they're not very popular until Bart sneaks in and creates a futuristic element where there's aliens and spaceships, and then they become wildly popular, but they lose the message that Lisa wanted to impart. And in the B story, Marge has explosive diarrhea, but blames Homer, and he gets his feelings hurt.
This is Bart Summer and his love. Where does the new girlfriend come into your plot, Steve?
Obviously, the lead actress in Lisa's play and Bart have a fling, and that's why, because she wants more screen time or stage time, and so that's why Bart adjusts the scripts.
All right, you had me. I think you're right. Let me just check this real quick on Google AI. I just want to waste some water, that's all.
Okay.
When Bart and Lisa stumble into Professor Frink's basement, he gives them a look into their future as teenagers as they get ready for their high school graduation.
Ooh.
Bart is in a relationship with a girl named Jenda, and Lisa is going to Yale, and Homer and Marge are separated after Homer buys an underwater house. Steve, do you remember this episode?
I don't, but I do remember Jenda. Is that her name? That you just
Jenda,
said?
yes.
Yeah, Jenda. It just sounded wrong when it came out of my mouth. Jenda, we've met her before, of course, played by Amy Poehler. We've had some future episodes, but I think this is the first one. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, we know her backstory. So this is, I believe, the kind of first in that, future plot episodes. And like you said, Jenda, we've seen her. So I'm excited to, check it out and see where it all begins.
Yes.
And I hope to see all of you begin to follow us on Patreon. That's right. Subscribe, listeners, new listeners out there, old listeners. Come on. Like every other podcast that begs you to chip a little money in, like, hey, just don't do that 1 cup of Starbucks. Like,
yeah.
Or that insulin for your kids. They don't need it.
Nah. And you probably couldn't afford it anyway, so just use your money wisely.
Like, for $5 a month, pack of cigarettes used to cost $5, I assume. Mm-hmm. This is less than a pack of cigarettes.
Yeah.
And we don't give you cancer as of yet.
Maybe mentally, but not physically.
You know, what's $5 a month? Like, you don't need it. We need it.
I mean, that's like pennies a day.
Yeah, don't feed those children that aren't in America. Feed the children that are in America. Us. We are your children.
And we are the future.
Yes.
Treat us well and show us the way.
So just for $5 a month, you'll get this podcast. I know you can get it for free, but wouldn't it be more exciting to hear it a little earlier sometimes? And maybe, just maybe, some bonus episodes a couple times a month?
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, you know, look, we just released, as of this record, our first one. We wanted to make it something special, and it's something that fans have always wanted us to talk about, and that's the Family Guy Simpsons crossover. So check it out. Subscribe now, and you get to listen to our take, our thoughts on Family Guy meets The Simpsons. And this week, you might hear a little bit bonus from our introduction. So all I'm saying is $5 a month, patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys. Sign up today. You won't be disappointed.
That's right. And hey, if you don't mind, go to your favorite podcatching app, leave us 5 stars or the equivalent. But you don't need to write a real review. Just do like Craig asked you to do earlier in the episode and tell us your favorite on-screen kiss.
Don't forget to email us at 13simpsons@gmail.com or follow us on socials at 13simpsons like Instagram and YouTube. And tell a friend and tell everyone to subscribe today. Patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys.
That's right. And you can always go to tpublic.com/user_annoyedgruntboy and get yourself some cool Annoyed Grunt Boy swag.
That's tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys. You always forget the S, Steve.
I'm so sorry. There's both of us, not just you.
All right. For this week, I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Grunt Boy Steve.
And remember, I'm just advanced. You can catch up.
I prefer a dead child to a lawsuit from your parents anytime.
I say, that's rum news. Very rum indeed.